Thank you so much. I think I'm more than humbled to be here. And being termed as a disruptor, well, I'll take it to the magnitude it deserves.
Sure.
Nevertheless, it's all about identifying a solution and bringing up, as in identifying a problem and raising a solution.
A solution.
Yes.
How did you get there, Joan?
Let me just give you a backstory.
Yes.
Long before I became an automotive technician, I was a car owner. Okay. There's this specific car, Volkswagen Polo, that I bought. I wasn't very much conversant with cars back then. So the car used to break down time and again. And it being a German vehicle, most of the mechanics from the village were not very much familiar with it. So every time it would cost me taking it on a flatbed to Nairobi and fro. Then I was like, no. So one time, it got into limp mode. And because there was no one who could diagnose it from the locality, a technician came all the way from Nairobi. He came with those, back then I would call them complex computers that you don't know what those gadgets are all about. He came, plugged it in, cleared the errors, charged me a cool 30,000, went back to Nairobi, and the car still had the issue.
Oh no.
So I was like, this has to come to an end. I had now to become a self-taught mechanic. YouTube tutorials, doing research. Then eventually I decided I'm going back to pursue this as a course.
Wow.
Because now when I've got the right information, once I'm out in the field, now I can be able to offer solutions for so many people outside there who are facing the same problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is what you're doing.
Yes. And that is exactly what I'm doing.
Receive your flowers.
Thank you.
Completely.
Yes.
Which can... Okay, let's start first. Ask your question. No,
Becky,
I like that one.
I know your... Becky, I know that question.
One when you're winding up.
All right. So I'm going to get straight into it. And I want us to talk budgets, first of all. So what is a reliable, low-maintenance car for young women in Kenya who are buying maybe their first car? Let's first start with the first car. And talk to us about used versus new. Affordable, new, used. Are we looking at VITs, Axio? Advise us as an expert.
All right. I think I'll start with the case of reliability.
Yes.
For any car that's reliable, it must be simple. Because when you bring in a complex vehicle, so many components have been brought in together, then it compromises on reliability.
Okay.
For those who've known me long enough, they know I'm a Toyota. I'm a die-hard Toyota fan.
Okay.
And the reason as to why I really root so much for Toyota is simplicity, practicality, reliability.
Okay.
This is a car, even though you're from deep in the bush, as in the bundos, any mechanic can fix it.
Okay.
If maybe when it comes to spare parts, they're easily accessible as ex-Japan.
Okay.
So the maintenance cost is very low. More to that, when it comes to resale value, they are also very high due to the fact that they are reliable. So for anyone who's planning on starting out life and you want maybe a small vehicle, there are those who start with Ubers, for Ubers they're in their own class. But maybe for small vehicles you can consider the likes of the Vitz, the likes of the Axio. If your budget allows, there's the Allion, the Paso, that is
Probox.
Yeah,
Is
true,
it
Probox. But then Probox, I would call it more in the Kenyan market, it's more of a commercial vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah, but really handy. I'll tell you that. It's really handy. If not Toyota, you can also consider Mazda.
Okay.
But for the Mazdas, I'll be very categorical with the petrol variant.
Okay.
If you go for the diesel variant, it comes with a lot of complications because it has been highly advanced to cater for the emissions regulations. But with the Mazda petrol, you can go wrong on it. Because most people who buy first-time cars, it's maybe from home, work, and back. If they are maybe within the vicinity of the city, you're looking at around 10 or maximum 20 kilometers in a day. You do that with a diesel vehicle in a short time, you'll have issues with the DPF, you'll have issues with the EGR. So with a petrol, those are issues you don't anticipate.
Okay.
So it will serve you well.
Wow.
Okay. Becky,
Interesting.
I feel like this one is Becky's masterclass.
Yeah, it's my masterclass. Yeah, clearly. I'm learning, so you can take it away.
So I'm curious, how do prices and value differ, especially with import rules in Kenya?
Now, when it comes to the pricing, first of all, we start with the grades of cars. Cars are graded.
Okay.
And I think the highest ones that get into a country are around 4.5 4.5 thereby. That's a nice car with maybe what I would call good mileage. The interior is good. It's really in what I would call not in brand new condition, but pristine condition.
Yes.
Now, when you go to grade 3 going downwards, now the quality is not as high, so the prices will differ. Okay. Another thing, cars, when you look at cars that are highly advanced, take for instance the German cars, they come with a lot of advancement. A car is coming with massage seats. It's coming with a sunroof. It's coming with a very high-end infotainment system. It tells you everything. It concerns maybe the temperature outside, the temperature inside. A lot of computers have been brought in together to ensure all that happens. So definitely for such a car that offers luxury, it offers comfort, it offers that thrill of being in the car and riding, definitely it will come at a price.
Okay. The buying process, let me go there.
Thank you very much.
So on the inspection and legal, how do you ensure due diligence? What are you looking at when it comes to the paperwork when you want to purchase a car? Let's start from there.
Right. Let me start with what you're supposed to do in the process of buying a vehicle, even before you proceed to the paperwork. Okay. Number 1, identify a car. Once you identify the vehicle, ensure that it falls within your expectations. Because there are two different buyers. There's one who's buying a buy and ride vehicle. There's someone who's buying a build. The vehicle has issues and this person is comfortable with it and just wants to go on with the process of buying it and then fixing it up, or rather restoring it. But there's someone who I want a car that once I leave there, I'm driving home and not to the garage. That's the first thing. Identify a vehicle and ensure that it matches your expectations, your budget, and what you're looking out for, ensuring that your expectations have been met. Now, after you've identified that vehicle, that is where we come in for inspection. Okay. You may be able to admire the color. You may also maybe like the interior. Maybe the infotainment, the system is really
the sunroof.
Exactly. But then when it comes to the integral components of a vehicle, the engine, the gearbox, the suspension, the auto electrical systems, now that's where we come in. We're able now to give you a detailed report on the exact condition of the car you're planning to buy. Mileage verification, that comes in hand. Then after we've ascertained and approved that this vehicle lies within your expectations, then you can now go on with the procedure of paperwork. Okay. Now, paperwork. One thing you need to confirm. On our inspections, we always note down the chassis number, the engine number. It's supposed to correspond with that on the paperwork, on the logbook, and also on the NTSA portal. Because sometimes you'll buy a vehicle that the engine has been swapped, but the one who changed the engine did not update it on the NTSA portal. So you buy the vehicle, but your paperwork is not in order, because you'll be asked, this engine number is different from the current engine number in the vehicle. That is why paperwork is very much important. When it comes into issues like, I think I'll mention this especially for the locally used cars. How do you know that the car you've bought was not written off by insurance? Because I've had scenarios whereby you buy a vehicle, but after you've purchased it, when you want to go and apply for the insurance policy, you cannot get a comprehensive cover. Reason? This car was already written off by the insurance. So what happened is that it was sold off at auction, revamped, refurbished, redone. It looks nice, but in reality, in the paperwork behind it, you cannot get a comprehensive insurance. And maybe you paid top dollar to get this vehicle.
So that's what the inspection would look like.
Now, for the technical part,
yes.
But not for this one. There's a specific team that deals with that. It's called CRB, whereby they're able to tell you the history of the vehicle. In case it had a major accident, it was written off. Now it puts you in a better position to understand the car you're buying.
Wow. It's a masterclass.
It is. It's a masterclass.
Did you do that when you're purchasing your car?
No. No, in fact, I'm telling you, I'm here feeling all the pain and all the correct, because if I had known, if only I had known. Let me ask you, what is a non-negotiable here? like in terms of inspection, the steps, is it a test drive? Is it an engine check, body check? What is mandatory according to you as an expert?
All right, for me, the first thing I always check into, which is very much integral, is mileage. If the mileage has been tampered, how will you trust anything else that's in that vehicle?
Yeah.
That's because, and the reason as to why mileage is so important is because some components in a vehicle, due to the normal wear and tear, at a specific mileage, they need to be changed. One very important component is the timing chain or the timing kit.
Okay.
In most vehicles, this usually ranges between 100 to 150,000 kilometers. For the Peugeots, it comes even way earlier than that.
Yeah.
Now, if the mileage has been tampered, you buy the vehicle, you're not exactly sure of when is the next time I'm supposed to check into the timing chain, you're left in the dark. Because once the timing chain snaps, you're looking at an engine replacement. There's no other way about it. That's because the timing chain synchronizes the operation of the crankshaft and the camshaft. So if they are not in synchronization, kaput, the engine cannot work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Becky. Becky. All right. I want us to talk about something that everyone wants to avoid, and that's a scam. We're trying to avoid scams while buying a car. So, how to spot and avoid fraudulent sellers or cars that have maybe existing loans? How do you do that? And maybe bring in the conversation of NTSA and logbooks and explain the team's portal for verifying ownership and loan status of cars. Yeah.
All right. For when it comes to after you buy the vehicle, if you want to know the car has been involved in an accident, now that's an entirely different body from NTSA.
Okay.
But now for NTSA, you want to know who holds the logbook, because transfer is done online nowadays.
Yeah.
So imagine you buy the vehicle, but then it has not been transferred in your name. Because it needs to be transferred, you need to accept it via your NTSA portal so that it cannot be registered under your name. If you find that the name on the logbook is not the name of the seller, then that's a huge red flag. Because how will the transfer be done?
Yeah.
How will you follow up on that? That's number one. Another huge red flag that I would is you want to buy a vehicle, you go to a yard, that is like, we have this vehicle, but so many people need this vehicle, make a deposit.
Yes.
You know, they're rushing you so much, trying to praise a vehicle that maybe you've not personally touched. Maybe you've seen through the photos on social media, but you don't have physical evidence of the vehicle. You rush, you pay the deposit, and that's a scam. They completely go MIA on you, and there's no follow-up. And I'm talking this from experience. You know, most people, when in Nairobi, due to the busy and hectic schedules, it's very hard for them to get maybe sometimes to go and check out cars physically in Mombasa.
It's true.
So they see some very nice online portfolio with a very beautiful vehicle, very nice price, and you're like, oh Jesus, have you the jackpot?
Yeah.
So what happens? They're like, all right, I'm going to make a deposit, then send the vehicle over to Nairobi. So one time a client called me and told me, John, I want you to go and check out a vehicle for me in Mombasa. I went. He gave me the contact details of the seller, the location, and everything. But then upon going there was no yard with that name. There was no car.
What?
And we were looking at a car that's averaging around, is it 4 million? So you can imagine if you had just gone blindly, because sometimes they'll tell you make a deposit of maybe 100,000 for maybe you're committing on that vehicle. So that's 100,000 that has gone down the drain.
Yes. And the due diligence is really, really important. You know, when you're starting this conversation, you spoke about this mechanic who came and took your 30,000 shillings and still didn't fix the car.
Yes.
You know, how much of that do people get exposed to? And especially women. It's pink perspective. We're talking about women. Sometimes men are more, I'd say, savvy when it comes to mechanics and whatnot. Something you might disagree with because you're a woman. But, women are a bit naive when it comes to cars. That might happen to any woman or any man, actually, where a mechanic comes, fine, they're looking into your car, they've come with all their computerized systems, but leave and there's no change, really. What do you do in such a situation?
I think
Or
that's
what would you advise?
that's a common occurrence due to the fact that the Bible says, "My people perish due to lack of knowledge."
Yes.
Now, if you don't have the right knowledge, then you become vulnerable. When you become vulnerable, people will take advantage of your naivety. If you don't understand how a car works, or rather the mechanisms and the operations in a vehicle, then whoever comes and tells you any information, you will believe it. Because you don't have facts to counter argue him or her. But when you have the right knowledge, I always advise women, know cars, even though it's just the basic mechanics. If you have a tire puncture, kindly know how to change it.
Yeah.
If it's an issue, you've realized that maybe in the morning the car has not started. What are the things you need to check out for?
Yeah.
Diagnose it before someone comes and tells you a wrong diagnosis. Or at least have an idea. So that when the mechanic is telling you, this is an issue with the gasket. You're like, no. This can never be an issue with the gasket.
Yeah.
We need first to check the battery. We also need to see if maybe there is an issue with the throttle body. At least also let's confirm that if it's the spark plugs, they are good. If it's the fuel, is it being properly sent into the combustion chamber? With that basic knowledge, it elevates you in a level where you can't be duped.
True.
You go, maybe let's say your car has gotten it has an issue with a lot of vibrations when you're on a rough road. You go, maybe a mechanic tells you that's an issue with the gearbox. But if you have the knowledge that these are bushings that are worn out, maybe it's an issue with the stabilizer links, you're in a position to counter argue the mechanic and be like, no. This cannot be an issue with the gearbox because I don't have an issue with the shifting of gears. This has to be an issue with the suspension because I'm only feeling it when I'm driving on rough roads or rather when I'm hitting a bump or something of the sort. So having the knowledge, it gives you power.
It gives you power, really.
Yes.
And I like that approach. And, it almost makes me ask, how do you identify a good mechanic? Because they all look like scams, I'm sorry. Like scammers, rather. Because, most people have had very bad experiences.
With their mechanics.
With their mechanics. And you say, this is my mechanic, and then now later on you realize, oh, no, they used to diagnose the wrong thing,
Okay, I think as per that, when it comes to getting an honest person, an honest person is just an honest person.
Yeah.
There's no other way about it. You can teach someone a skill, but you cannot teach someone values. They have to be ingrained in them.
Yeah.
I hope first of all,
That hit home.
Like our digital desk captures that. You can have the skill but still be dishonest.
Exactly.
The value.
Integrity is something you can't be taught in class. It has to be in you. Also, what was the goal that led you into that field in the first place? If you're there chasing money, then believe me, upholding values will be a bit hard because the end goal is money. You'll say by hook, by crook, you need the money. But if you're there because you're passionate about what you're doing, then it means whatever is driving you is bigger than money. Whatever is driving you is something that you want to see it continuous, as in continued, It's not something short term. So when a client comes to you, you're like, this is just one of the many who will come. So I can't afford to mess up with this one because they are trusting me in that I have the expertise and the know-how on how to go about it.
Yeah.
But if I scam her and I end up giving maybe the wrong diagnosis or saying these parts are faulty and they're not, her word of mouth will go to another. It will go to another. And eventually, my expertise will be of no use because people will know, yes, he or she has the expertise, but she does not have the value. She cannot deliver. And it's all about delivering. Whatever you produce is what people will hold you for. Yes.
And what are some of the common concerns that your clients come to you with when it comes to vehicles? What do you address the most?
All right, number one, I'll start with something that is common in all cars: engine service. Most people don't know the right oil.
Okay.
Most people don't know maybe when it comes to the spark plugs. How do you differentiate genuine one from fake ones? When it comes to interval, at how much interval, how long am I supposed to maybe drain the engine oil? Those are things that every car owner must know. I'll say it's a need to know. Because what happens is...
You're really challenging me by I'm sitting here feeling so challenged. What? Okay, continue.
And that's because if you don't know the right oil, then you will go to maybe the mechanic who's servicing your vehicle. They'll end up putting the wrong oil, and now it will cost you.
Now damages
And it's
your
your
engine.
car.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you should know better.
You should exactly. You should know better.
Yeah.
Number 2, how the interval. When is my car due for service? If it's due for service, ensure you do it timely. Because when oil overstays, it ends up now losing its lubrication qualities and also the heat absorbent qualities, the cooling effects, and eventually the engine is not efficient. So that is something that every car owner must know, because the engine is the heart of the vehicle. If you don't know how to go about maintaining the engine, then how will you maintain the vehicle?
Correct,
And that is the heart of the vehicle in the first place. Yes.
Okay, there's someone who's reached out on our socials and is asking us to ask you about financing and ownership options. Particularly, they're asking that you briefly touch on hire purchase, the deposit plus, installments versus a cash buy. And maybe on that particular, buying process, you can tell us about the ownership and transfer process. What's the standard procedure for changing the logbook details, Yani? That's what I mean.
All right. Now, let me start with the financing.
Yes.
Now, with the financing, I think it depends with how deep your pocket is. There's someone who's maybe been working for the last 3 years, saving to buy a vehicle because they want to just buy it in cash. They don't want to finance a loan after. But let's be honest, with the current economy in Kenya, doing that is really hard.
True.
It's not impossible, but let's just assume the common person may not afford that.
Yeah.
A cash payment.
A cash payment.
Yeah.
So what do they opt for? They opt for higher purchase. Financial, as in asset financing from maybe the bank.
Yes.
They actually work with, or rather they bank in, maybe the SACCO, and they get maybe what I would call favorable payment options. No, it's not a bad one. In that, there's a book I love so much by Robert Kiyosaki who says, harness the power of debt.
I love Robert Kiyosaki.
You do?
Such a good writer.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Harnessing the power of debt. If you can manage to take a debt and then ensure that it turns into an asset for you, then you're good to go.
Okay.
One of the bad thing is this. You go for asset financing. You buy a vehicle, but then the vehicle has underlying problems. Eventually, the vehicle is more like you can no longer maintain servicing the loan and fixing the vehicle. What happens? You get into what I would call a debt, because now you're financing something that's not even helping you.
I understand, yes.
So that is why I always insist, when you're buying a vehicle, be sure of the current condition, even though it's asset financing.
Yes.
Be sure that the money, or rather the hire purchase facility that's helping you acquire the vehicle, is something that's of benefit to you. It's not something that they'll come finance, you get the vehicle, but eventually the vehicle will turn into depression on your end. Yes.
Okay. Please, the ownership process, transfer
Right.
of logbook, yes.
Ownership process, this usually happens after you've completed the whole amount. If you're doing hire purchase, in most cases, the logbook has to be co-owned,
Okay.
because that is a security. When you're being financed a vehicle, the vehicle is not the security, the logbook is the security, because it's the documentation that shows the ownership of the vehicle.
The vehicle, yes.
When it comes to ownership, ensure that if you've bought it from my yard, the transfer is done instantly, because even though you're buying it via hire purchase, it's supposed to be co-owned between you and the financer, maybe the bank, maybe the SACCO, but not from the yard. If you're buying it from an individual, now that one is even more slippery, if I may use that word, because at least a yard, you're sure it can't move from there. But maybe you've met up with a person, maybe you've met up on maybe one of the malls, you're like, I like that vehicle, you draft the sale agreement, then you maybe make a deposit, or rather you finalize on the amount. But if they've not initiated the transfer before you leave there, they initiate the transfer and you leave with the original logbook. Never make a mistake of, I'll come and get the logbook later, because that's the only document you have to verify that you have that car in your possession.
Okay.
After the transfer is done online, and TSA, they're very quick to notify you when the now updated logbook will be released in your name. So now you go with the old logbook, you trade it in, or rather you give it so they can give you the updated one. Now that's when you're sure that everything is in order. NTSA portal, your name is there. On the logbook, your name is there.
Yeah.
Okay. There's something that people maybe do or maybe do not consider, and that is the post-purchase costs. For example, there's insurance, service, obviously fuel, and all that. I don't know whether, if I'm buying a car, say for 1 million, how much extra should I budget as a post-purchase cost?
No,
And for inspection too. Like
there's inspection as well.
If you want it, checked before purchasing, what should I budget for? Really?
All right. Now let me start with the pre-purchase inspection, because it's the one that has to come prior to you buying.
Oh, sorry.
There's
Yeah,
the
there's
pre-
a pre-purchase.
Yes.
Sorry.
So for the pre-purchase, as for us on our end, our charges are 6,500 plus extra transport charges. That's because we are flexible enough to come to where the car is located.
Okay.
So you have to cater for the transport charges. Then after that, let's say we've approved the vehicle. After we've approved the vehicle and you've bought it, always ask yourself one thing before you decide this is the vehicle to go for. Can I manage its maintenance? What is the cost of a minimal engine service? Get a rough estimate. Maybe it's around 10 to 15,000. How often am I supposed to do that? Say at an interval of every 3 months. Because that's when maybe you'll have covered maybe the 10,000 mileage or the 5,000 mileage, the 8,000 mileage.
Yeah.
So 15,000 at an interval every
3
months. So in a year, those are 4.
So I need 60,000.
You need 60,000. And that's on the higher side because I've taken a basic car. You take other cars, sometimes the service can go up to as high as close to 40,000. That's because other cars, when you service them, you need to do a reset with a machine.
Okay.
Yes. You need to ensure that the readings on the dashboard are accurate.
Yeah, the check engine.
And not just the check engine, but even the oil level, the interval until it can give you a warning when the next service is due. It varies with cars. Then more to that, insurance. Are you going for comprehensive? Are you going for third party? Third party is cheap. But now understand one thing, that party won't cover you. In case of an accident, it will compensate the one you hit, but not you. And honestly, to be on the safe side, comprehensive is the way to go.
Yes.
Comprehensive is expensive. It goes without saying.
Yes.
No, you've got an insurance, you've done service. Suspension. How long are you, or rather, how are your driving habits so that you can accommodate for the next thing? Maybe you'll need the brake pads changed, you'll need the shocks checked into, you'll need the bushings checked into. You factor that into.
Okay.
This car, you're using it on a daily basis. It needs car wash.
There's that.
There's that one too, car wash. On average, I think you're looking at around 400 on the lower side.
What?
Yes. Car wash ranges are, and maybe I'm actually talking about the price in the bundles. I'm not even.
How much do you use?
Hide space. Literally hide space.
Okay.
Maybe for you, high in space is between 1,000 to 1,500.
That is maybe bi-weekly, but kawaida every day it's literally 100 bob because I wash in the office
every day.
Hey, you're lucky to have
in
the
the
car
office,
wash
so
here
it's
in
just
the office, so
100
it's
bob.
subsidized actually.
Okay.
because-
Yeah,
right,
true.
right.
Yeah.
And then more to that, you've washed the car. Parking.
Parking fees.
Exactly. You need to accommodate for that.
Yeah, 1,000 shillings. Yeah. Accommodate for that.
Exactly. And so car ownership, car buying is a one-time process.
Yeah.
But car ownership is a lifetime commitment.
Yeah.
Are you willing to pay the price for that?
There's instances where
It's a lifetime commitment.
someone like our beautiful Riley will go and draw I love mommy on the car. Riley.
Yeah, there's so many things to factor.
Exactly.
Really. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. We might not
Okay.
have a lot of time, but I
Okay.
need to. I don't know. You had that question you needed to ask.
Joanne, which car do you drive?
Because the car she drives has to be the
Current.
best car in
Exactly.
this Kenya.
Currently.
Joanne, please,
All right.
we all need to know.
We
You
get the
need to know.
privilege to ask you this.
Actually, I drive a Jalopy.
Okay.
The first vehicle is a 1994 Land Cruiser Prado box.
Okay.
The reason as to why. Okay, now
Why
that's the
a
first one.
Jalopy?
Yeah. The second one now, it's a Suzuki Jimny 1987. So it's a Jalopy. Now, It's the reason as to why for me it's my best car. Because what are my expectations? Why am I buying these vehicles in the first place? Off-road capabilities.
So that's your interest, off-road.
That's off-road capabilities.
Okay.
Because for off-road, you want a car. Both of them are manual drives. They're manual.
Okay.
Yes. So for them, you always feel in control the entire drive. You're dealing with mud. You're in control. You're maybe venturing into the bushes. You're just enjoying nature. You're in control. Number one, they're very much reliable because they don't have computers.
Oh, wow.
You know, with modern cars, the computer maybe like takes more of your judgments. For instance, take a modern Land Cruiser, or let me even just use a Land Rover. It comes with what we call the multi-terrain select. You're spinning. It says, that tire is spinning. It takes the freedom from you to choose which tire will get more power or how you're going to drive this vehicle, and it engages itself in the mode it thinks is best suited for you. So what does it do? It limits the drive. Really. You don't have any control. This system is very much complex. If it fails on you and you are deep in the bush, away from civilization, there's no network, your goose is cooked. But now with a car that doesn't have any computerized advancements and everything, it's very technical. You're like, okay, now
you really have to know what
exactly.
You really need
and you can easily fix it. It's a car that you can easily fix. So for me, I go for a car that's practical, reliable, and can sustain what I love doing the most, and that's off-roading and adventure.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
But now when you take maybe a look at you, maybe...
What if you are a city dweller? Yeah.
If I was a city dweller, and maybe I just want a vehicle to get me from home
to the
to the office,
to the supermarket,
and
to
back.
School. Yeah.
I'll go for maybe a car like a Vitz. I'm a Toyota.
Okay.
I'll go for a Vitz.
Okay.
Why? It's very, in terms of the engine capacity, it's small.
So
that tells fuel consumption is good.
It's very low,
Maintenance cost is low. Availability of spare parts. And in case I decide after 3 years I want to sell this vehicle, I'll definitely get a buyer. See?
Okay.
But for someone else, they'll consider something different. For me, I'm looking at practicality, reliability, and if it can serve my needs.
Yes.
My whole agenda is getting from point A to point B.
Yeah.
But there's someone who wants to get from point A to point B in style. They are looking at comfort. They are looking at luxury. They are looking at performance. The car, once you just sit on that, the driver's seat, you engage the gas, zoom, the car is gone. For such a vehicle, it will come at a price because they look at the likes of the BMWs, the likes of the Volkswagens. But now, then they are not factoring in reliability or maintenance cost. That's not an issue. But now if you're considering a lot of economies,
then it might not be ideal for you.
Exactly.
Wow. All right, we have 1 minute for you to tell us where to find you. And more than anything, I think advice, give us top line advice for owning and maintaining a car in this Nairobi as we wrap up, please.
And around the country.
All right, I think I'll start with where we are based. We've got an office along Magadi Road in Karen, next to Kudi Flat Apartment. That is where we are located. It's inside Precision Automotive Garage. That's where we have our offices. Now, when you talk about car ownership and car buying, first of all, understand it's an expensive investment. If it's an expensive investment, then give it the due diligence it deserves. If you're planning on investing your 1 million or your millions into that, ensure that it gives you value for your money. And that is where pre-purchase inspection comes in. Ensure that you know the exact condition of the car you're buying. You know what to anticipate. There are cars that come in and you need to know maintenance, how to go about it, at what intervals, what are the right products, what are the right lubricants. This is information that every car owner needs to know. When I'm looking at maybe in terms of longevity, how long am I looking for this car to serve me well? And the question to that is simple. A car will serve you the exact same way you treat it. You give proper maintenance to your vehicle, it will serve you well. When it comes to buying vehicles, be well informed. You know, someone comes and tells me, Joanne, I want a hybrid vehicle. And then I'm like, where are you located? I'm located inside the Mberen South. So I asked them, okay, you want a hybrid? Why? It has good good fuel economy. But then the question is simple. In terms of maintenance, where will you take it? You'll have to bring it all the way to Nairobi.
Yeah.
In case that hybrid battery pack is kaput, because they do after being on the road for quite some time, have you factored in the cost of replacement? They haven't. So car buying is a one-time process.
Yes.
Car ownership is a lifetime commitment that you need to know exactly what to expect from.
Okay.
Yes.
Our guest on the Pink Lab has been forreal.ke, and that's Joan
Nyambura.
Gera. Yes.
Yeah.
And if you need to buy a car